Hello, everybody. Welcome to this week's Thursday Live. There's Oonagh now. Hi, just going to join you in. Oh, hang on now. Here we go. Just wait now. There's Siobhan. Hi, Siobhan.
Hello!
Hi.
Long time no see.
How are you?
I'm all right. How are you? How are
I'm
you?
good. I'm good.
Yeah,
Yes, yeah. Can't complain now.
yeah.
Thank you for doing this. You're very good.
Not at all. Very, very welcome. Pleasure as always. Yeah,
Ah,
yeah.
I
It's a
know, yes.
pleasure.
Our super mentor.
Oh, come here. I'm not too sure about that. No, I'm not too sure. But listen, it's
No.
all good. It's all good. Yeah, it's crazy times, isn't it? How are you finding things?
Oh, yeah, bit of a roller coaster.
Yeah,
I think, and everybody seems to be the same, that
yeah,
one day is great and another day is mad and,
yeah.
and with the kids and stuff like that as well. So,
It's
you know
really hard,
yourself.
isn't it? It's
It
really hard to,
is.
continue to work and as well have the children at home and homeschool
Yeah.
them. And I have a whole new level of respect for school teachers. I'll tell you
Oh,
what they do. It's just phenomenal, isn't it?
I know.
You can
It's
really see the difference, in
bringing
kids.
me back to, like, I did 16 years in secondary school as a
Yeah,
secondary school teacher,
right.
but like I'm still struggling. So, and
Yeah,
I've only
not
two
easy.
here. I was like, how
Yeah,
did I ever do that? Like,
I know.
classes of 30. But then again, wasn't trying to run a business at the same time. So,
Yeah, yeah. It's
yeah,
hard. It's hard
yeah,
doing it all. There's no question. So, and I don't think
I
anybody's
know.
finding it easy. We just have to go easy on ourselves, don't we?
That's it. I've
Yeah.
totally stopped. Like the first week, I always say to everybody, the first kind of couple of days after St. Patrick's Day, I went a bit nuts because I was consuming so much media and I was like looking
Yeah.
at Twitter and Facebook and Instagram and, all sorts. And then I
Oh,
was like,
good. Yeah.
I'm going to burn out here now, lads. We need to turn that off.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, but
Yeah.
how are you guys getting on?
Yeah, well, it's challenging. There's no question about that. So, I suppose the main thing for us at the beginning was to make sure that we protected our teams, because
Yeah.
obviously, just being on the front line and people coming in, and I
Mm,
suppose we have to assume everybody is COVID positive, even though they may not be displaying symptoms because so many people are asymptomatic. So, but can still, the virus is just so contagious that we can pass it on without even knowing that we have it. So we're pretty much actively saying, don't come in, we'll come to you.
yeah.
So we've kind of had to change our business model straight away, and really basically ask our customers to either phone us or to email us into either one of the stores, or we've set up this helpline number,
Mm,
and we'll get whatever you need, be that a prescription or be that a medicine or, a skincare product or whatever, directly to your door. So we've had to set up a logistics system, I suppose, to do same day delivery around our stores, and then pretty much next day delivery then everywhere else across the country. So yeah, so that's been a roller coaster getting that all set up, and just
wow.
making sure then that the most vulnerable people, our customers are looked after, somebody's checking in on them, and that we're connecting to their family members to make sure that they have everything they need, because very often their family members could be in a different part of the country, they could be
Mm,
down the country or whatever, but their mum or dad might be living in Dublin. So we're playing that kind of role as well, just making sure that everybody has everything that they need whilst inside. So yeah, it's been tricky. There's no
yeah.
lie about it. But listen, we're just navigating through it as best we can. Same as everybody else, Alvin. Same as
I
everybody.
know. That's it. It's just,
Yeah,
yeah. It's like, what can we do? What can we control? And what can we like have,
absolutely.
some impact on? So,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. Well, that
Too
was one of the
much.
questions that came in actually
Oh, well.
was there was a lovely mom who was like, how are the team at Mars getting on? And
Yeah,
how are you coping and stuff? So,
yeah, yeah.
um,
Well, I mean, we're getting on fine. Like, I think some people find it easier to, like, some of our head office function are working from home, and lots of people find that productive and easy, but some other people then, crave the human connection or whatever. So, yeah, like, the one size doesn't fit all is what I've discovered. And And some people struggle with working from home or just being isolated really from other people, or they just need more contact than other people, just get on with the job and find that easy. And then if you're working from home, and like me, you might have children as well, so you're trying to balance all of that. So listen, we're just trusting people to get the job done. It doesn't matter when they get the job done, they can do it morning, evening, whatever time.
Yeah.
And just to work around their own personal circumstances. And then in the stores, you know, our people in the stores are very much in the front line. So we're very mindful of that. We have to make sure we have all the health and safety measures put in place to protect them as best we can. So between, you know, perspex screens up in stores, using the, you know, face masks, hand sanitizer, the whole washing, the social distancing, only letting so many people into the store at one time, and then really trying to encourage as many people to contact us, and we'll come to you rather than you come to us, because, you know, somebody could come in, they don't even know that they are COVID positive. There could be an elderly person in the store. There could be someone who has an underlying condition, and they could end up passing it on, not even knowing that they are doing that, you know. So it's tricky, and it's just that we have to adapt the whole time. And sure, all when you see that, you know, there's new guidance out from public health authorities every day, you know, up until last week we weren't wearing masks, now we're wearing masks, you know, so every day there's new guidance coming out. So it's really just keeping abreast of all of that and keeping on top of everything. So it is constantly changing. But listen, our teams they're amazing, like they're fantastic at what they do, and they really care about our customers and care about each other. And so we're just getting through it together. That's what we're doing. So now every day is a new day. And it's like, this too shall pass, and we just get through the next day and the next day, you know. So we're doing as good as we can, you know.
Having a glass of wine on a Friday helps.
Oh, come here. All sorts of stuff going on, but sure, say nothing.
That's it. Say nothing till you hear more, as they say. But just then on the COVID things, I don't know if you got a chance to see them, but I only sent them over today. There was a couple of questions. Well, there was a number of questions in, but some of them I collated because they were of similar kind of topic-ish sort of stuff. So, and anything that is just like left of center, it's fine. You can kind of go next. But there wasn't that many, so don't worry. But on the COVID vein, and on the new information coming out and stuff like that, there was a couple of questions in from mums about where they had seen something from the UK, I think, and COVID, strange symptoms in children. And were concerned then, you know, was there, you know, like, what is it that they should be looking out for? Can children have it, or babies, or, you know, that kind of thing now? And did you know anything about that could clarify anything?
Well, all I'd say is that, you know, this is a new virus we're dealing with, and so we're learning new things every single day. So what we know today is not going to be what we know next week. Every day we're learning something new out. There's more and more research being done, and we're learning from other countries that have gone before us, almost, that have been infected before us. So you would have seen, I guess, what those mums are alluding to is the information that came out of the UK about the effects on young children, and that inflammatory reaction that it seems to be causing in some young children. Now, first and foremost, just to say that some of those children that were tested were COVID positive, but some were not COVID positive as well. So whether or not it's related to COVID or not is still, you know, a question to be answered, you know, but we don't know. So I guess everybody is just being super cautious and saying there could be a connection there. So we have to, you know, treat that very seriously. And, you know, it's almost got the same symptoms as another inflammatory condition that is more prominent in Asia, really. But basically it is like almost a very toxic inflammatory response, where you may have rashes on the body, very red eyes, diarrhea, tummy pain, and stomach cramps. That's the condition, that's kind of symptoms that's been reported to date. And you know what I would say to any mother, and you know yourself, Alwyn, being a mum yourself, you know, first and foremost, if there's something funny going on with your kid, mother knows best, really and truly. You spot things that are just not sitting right with you, not sitting right with your gut. And even if your child didn't have a rash or didn't have any of those symptoms, but something was just not right, I would be seeking medical attention straight away, straight away. And that's the big thing we're finding with a lot of patients. So, like, you know, a lot of people are reluctant to call their GP or to access accident and emergency or to phone the emergency department because they think, oh God, you know, everybody's snowed under with COVID-19. I better, you know, I'm not going to do that because
Yeah.
they're under too much pressure, or I'm not going to go to accident and emergency because I might pick up COVID-19. And that is definitely not the thing to do. If you, or, you know, and this goes for adults as well as children, if you suspect that you have anything going on, any medical condition at all, you're to phone your GP first and foremost. And if not, if it's something more serious where like it seems to be like, for example, those kind of symptoms coming out, you're to phone accident emergency and get to accident emergency straight away, because the earlier the intervention, the quicker the recovery and the better response that you're going to get. So what I would say to any mum at all, first and foremost, we don't know for sure if there's a connection. We definitely know children get it. And we definitely know a lot of children are just asymptomatic. So they're just carriers, or what we call vectors of the disease, and they can pass it on. But for some children, definitely recently, especially out of the UK, I think there's been 5 cases in Crumlin as well, where children have tested positive for COVID-19 and have displayed these inflammatory kind of toxic symptoms, where basically it is a severe inflammatory reaction within the body, and that is very serious. That is very serious. So you're not to take any of those symptoms lightly at all, and access medical attention straight away. So if it was me and one of my kids had any of those symptoms, I'd be straight to Crumlin. To Crumlin. You couldn't live with yourself if something actually happened. Do you know what I mean? Like, so it's better to be safe than sorry, you know. And everybody has this perception that the hospitals are bursting at the seams and they shouldn't go near them and they might get. Not at all. Like, you hear Dr. Tony Houlihan talking about this. Actually, the hospitals are actually very quiet. And it's because people are actively staying away because they think, oh, I'm not going to go there in case I end up contracting COVID-19. Like, they're well set up to make sure that that doesn't happen. And they have segmented, you know, if you think that you're coming in with COVID symptoms, you're going to be separated from any other symptoms. So whatever you do, you phone your GP or you phone accident and emergency, and you get yourself to Crumlin if you have a young child, for sure, you know, or to another hospital if you're elsewhere in the country.
Yeah, amazing. Thank you very much. That clears up a lot.
Yeah.
I saw a few bits, but I didn't have time to kind of read anything. But I did see about the toes being discolored as well. So I was like, oh, that's really strange.
Yeah, so they're unusual symptoms, like anything like that where, you know, bright red eyes or really inflamed eyes, very swollen glands, rashes, no matter where they are, in the genital area, on the tummy or whatever. Anything like that that's unusual, don't be thinking, oh, that might be something else. No, just don't take a chance. And contact your GP or contact emergency. If it's a very severe reaction that's come on very quickly, I would even fast track and go straight to accident and emergency.
Okay, yeah, don't sit on it. So
don't sit on it. Do not sit on it, because you just don't know. Like, you know, you absolutely just don't know. So it's not worth it. And you know yourself, you wouldn't be able to live with yourself if you delayed for 24 hours or 48 hours and then think, oh God, if only I had it on that earlier. So don't think, and honestly don't think. I would be more concerned now at this stage of people who are avoiding accessing medical attention. And we have had lots of incidents where people are having have classic symptoms of possibly having a heart attack or a stroke and choosing not to contact their doctor or accident and emergency. And that is really, really worrying, because the quicker you can get and access medical attention, the quicker, you know, the better chances that you have. But there's a lot of that. And you hear Dr. Tony Houlihan talking about, like, the cardiac wards are empty. Nobody's there. And that doesn't mean to say that nobody's having the same heart attacks, but like, we still have the same health issues in this country. So it's not like that has all stopped just because of COVID-19. So it's just purely because people are really worried about going to the hospital. Or I know from talking to a lot of patients, they're saying, you know, I'm not going to phone my GP because they're up to their eyes with COVID-19, so I'm not going to bother them. But that's what they're there for, like, you know. So pick up the phone to your GP if you're worried, or any sort of severe symptoms of it come on straight away, or anything that's just not right with you, especially with young children, straight to A&E, straight to A&E.
Yeah, no chances.
No
I
chances.
did hear today, so I did hear Leo Varadkar talking about that as well, that he's like, all of a sudden these medical issues haven't stopped. Please use the hospital if you need them. But I heard today a doctor was being interviewed. He's an oncologist, and he's been interviewed on the radio, and he was saying for the past month he hasn't diagnosed anybody with cancer because he hasn't seen anybody.
I know.
Like, I'm
That's
still
worrying,
here,
like.
and he's like,
Yeah.
people are still having problems, and whereas I would have been diagnosing 3 people a day, he's like, I haven't diagnosed anybody in a month. He's like, please seek help if you are concerned, or about anything else other than COVID as well. So
yeah, I like that really worries me, because I think that after this is all finished, whenever it does, whenever we come off the other side of this curve, and when we can get back to, well, we're not going to get back to normal life, but we'll get, there's a new norm, whatever that is. We're going to have so many other healthcare issues that that people had and just didn't seek medical attention for. So listen, you just can't delay that. And also, one other thing I would say is, people are really struggling at the minute, Alwyn. I'm sure you talk to people on social as well. And, anybody who suffered with anxiety or feeling low, a bit depressed before COVID-19 even came in, this
compounded now.
It's totally compounded now. So make sure whatever you're doing, you're talking about that and you're seeking out help, because it's tough enough as it is without this layered on top of things. So, there's plenty of help out there, and don't feel isolated or don't feel alone. Make sure that you're seeking out that attention, because this can really spiral out of control if you don't, and we see lots of that, so and you see lots of people who have lost loved ones as well, Alwyn, and they haven't even been able to have a proper goodbye because they're not allowed access into the hospital or maybe a nursing home to see a loved one, or they haven't been able to attend a funeral. And that is definitely going to have an impact for those people as well, because they feel like they can't even say goodbye to the family. So, all of these kind of issues that are arising out of this pandemic are things we need to talk about, really need to talk about. And, there's plenty of help out there. And the first protocol is to your GP, and they can direct you, to the most appropriate care. Or if you're not sure, pick up the phone to us and we can point you in the right direction. But definitely 100%. We just need to talk about these. These are live issues. And whatever about COVID-19, there are spin-off healthcare issues that are going to arise from this. So always seek out medical attention. It's not like all the doctors have left the country, or they're not all dealing with COVID-19. They're there, they're available. They're all crying out. You see Leo talking about it. You see Tony Houlihan talking about it. They're all there, ready and waiting. You probably get fast tracked now because they're seeing nobody, so you'll get access really quickly. So
now's the time.
Yeah. Pick up the phone.
Yeah, no, and it's funny. It is in the last week I've seen a huge kind of increase in mums reaching out just for this is happening, just around developmental stages or queries, or is this normal or whatever, and they're kind of like apologizing, and they're I'm really sorry, I'm just missing my support group, or I can't see my family, and you're like, oh my God, it's no problem, if I can answer it at all, I will, and if I can't, I'll probably know somebody that can. So very similar. Very similar.
Just don't feel alone. We're all we are all going through this together, and unless you reach out to someone, it's like about anything you go through, Alvin, you need to tell someone, because otherwise people are not mind readers, and 9 out of 10 times if you say, I'm really struggling to someone, they'll tell you, I'm really struggling too. There's not anybody in this country that's not struggling with this. Some days are good, some days are bad, you know, and we go up and down, and our emotions change, but just talk about it. Don't keep it all inside, so there's plenty of help out there. Plenty.
Yeah. Amazing. Thank you. We're going to segue now into something slightly lighter that came in, actually.
Yeah. Okay.
This is a really interesting one, because I never would have thought about it. One mum wants to know what were the best sun creams. So I'm presuming she's not intending on travel. I'm hoping she's hoping
Just
for
for
more
here?
sunshine.
For herself or for children?
No, for her little one.
Oh, right. Okay.
So I actually
So,
don't know how old her little one is. I'm making an
okay.
assumption around the 10, 11 months of age.
Okay. Well, definitely the two best brands for children's are La Roche-Posay, for definite.
Yeah.
The pediatric range in that is the best range for children, in my opinion. Bioderma also do a children's range as well. So one of the two of those would be my first go-to, because they're really suitable for sensitive skin. They're quite light, but they have really good SPF in them. So they're 100% my two go-to, and they last for ages in the skin. They don't cause sometimes sun creams are quite heavy on the skin, and then trap the heat, and then you can get a prickly heat or a rash out. Whereas the La Roche-Posay ones will not do that for you. So yeah, so I definitely, they're my two go-tos. Definitely the pediatric range in La Roche-Posay, and then the Bioderma range. Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
I don't know if she's watching now, but anyway, that's it answered.
Yeah.
Then there was a skincare question. I wrote the notes down because I knew I wouldn't be able to access the questions on the screen. And now I'm trying to think what the skincare question was. It was something to do with the fact that they're indoors a lot more. And oh yeah, hydration maybe, and something brightening, I think, were the words mentioned.
Yeah.
So if they should change their skincare routine, maybe. I don't know.
Whenever they're indoors and those I think we're finding a couple of different things happening with skincare. First and foremost, more people are having breakouts. That's the first thing. And that's down to a number of things, I think. I don't think it's just down to one thing. So first and foremost, if we're at home and there's a lot more people baking, so you only have to look at the aisles of any supermarket you go into and there's no flour left. So a lot more baking going on, a lot more sugar consumption. So we're picking up the odd extra bar of chocolates purely because you're craving sugar, to get through all of this. And also because of the baking, there's a lot more sugar consumption. So definitely that increase in sugar is causing breakouts in people's skin that wouldn't normally break out. I think also the stress that all of this is causing, because people are really worried. They're worried about their own health. They're worried about the health of their loved ones, maybe their parents, grandparents, people who have underlying conditions in their family. Or we've so many people getting in contact with us who have either been laid off their job, they don't know if they're going to have their work back again, or their partners could have been laid off. So worried, financial worries as well. So that all causes obviously a release of the stress hormone in your body, which then gives you an outbreak of it could be on your skin. We're seeing a lot of breakouts on the chin and around it. So that tends to indicate a hormonal breakout. So breakouts are a big thing. And what we always recommend there is like a double cleanse first and foremost. So using something like the Kinvara cleansing oil is a really natural cleansing oil, and you can use that on oily skin, all types of skin really. So double cleanse, and then use something with salicylic acid or something in it to actually treat the skin. So something like Ethiclar, the cleanser, and that is very good, or Normaderm and Vichy. And then to use something to, I suppose, soothe the skin then from the breakout. So Mineral 89 is a good one in Vichy, or again, there's an Ethiclar product to soothe the skin in La Roche-Posay. So something then to soothe the skin, or Mineral 89 have come out with these new hyaluronic masks. They're fantastic. Just thermal water from Vichy in it, 89% thermal water, which is really healing, and then hyaluronic acid. So that's really good. And if you keep them in the fridge, it really cools down the skin. Pop that on. And it
sounds lovely.
It's like a treat for the skin, really. So anybody who has any dehydration, that's a really good product to go for. But if you have a breakout and you want to soothe the skin, that's good. And then just to use either a serum or a moisturizer, again, that won't clog up the pores and won't actually aggravate or exacerbate the breakout. So breakouts is a big problem. Then just being indoors as well is leading to a lot of dehydration, as you said. So, people could have the heating on, or you're just inside and you're not just getting as much fresh air. So anything to hydrate the skin. Serums are my favorite as opposed to moisturizers, because they reach deeper in the skin, and there's serums in every brand. But if you go for something pure rather than that has a lot of additives in it, so the Pestle and Mortar Hyaluronic is a fantastic one. Mineral 89 is a fantastic one. La Roche do the Hyalo B. It's a really good. So anything with hyaluronic in it, or vitamin C if you want to glow, you know. So La Roche do a vitamin C serum. There's all different brands do vitamin C. So that would be a good ingredient to give you a bit of glow, whereas hyaluronic acid plumps up the skin, gets rid of fine lines, and it's a really good hydrator. So
Yeah.
I definitely go for a serum
Can I
rather than a
just
cream.
ask about hyaluronic acid, just from a
Yeah.
personal
Yeah.
thing? I know I bought hyaluronic acid and I tried it once or something, but then I wasn't sure if I was using it right.
Yeah.
Is there a right way or a wrong way? Or do you just like, you know, put it
So
on after your cleanse? Or
yeah, so we always say, always double cleanse your skin, because so many people don't cleanse their skin properly. And if you don't cleanse your skin, you will have breakouts, because
okay.
even if you do a first cleanse with something oily like the Convara or the Trilogy oil or something like that, to get the majority of your makeup off, or the majority of just residue, dirt off your face. And no matter what, when you use a second cleanser on top of that, and some people use micellar water, some people prefer a creamy cleanser or even a wash, you will see on your pads or on your cloths, you will see that there's still
Got
residue
stuff.
there. Now, if that's the case and you are putting a serum on top, if you don't do a double cleanse and you're putting a serum or a cream on top, there's no way that serum or cream will actually penetrate your skin. It's just going to be blocked by the residue that's still left on your skin.
Mm.
So the number one thing in a good skincare routine is to double cleanse. 100%. Your skin will get so much better, improve so much more. You will get those ingredients into your skin if you double cleanse. So that is the number one thing to do. Then when you're applying, so after your double cleanse is when you put your hyaluronic on. And some brands you can use right up to the eye if it's very pure. So something like the Mineral 89 or even the Pestle and Mortar, it's safe to use right up to the eye. Others then have like an
Avoid
eye
it.
serum. Yeah, yeah. So and that's it. You just pat it in, really. Some of them soak so super fast into your skin. So
Mm.
something like the Pestle and Mortar, you'll notice actually is absorbed really, really quickly. It depends on the molecular weight actually of the hyaluronic acid. So if it's a big molecule, it takes longer to soak in. If it's a small molecule, it'll soak right in straight away. So that's why the consistency and the feel and the texture on your skin can sometimes be very different. If it's very sticky and tacky, then it's a large molecule, whereas something like Pestle and Mortar literally is soaked right in straight away. So that's why I like Pestle and Mortar. That's why I like you know, the skin ingredients, the serum
Yeah.
and that. There's extracts from different fruit and vegetables in that, so it kind of gives you a bit of a glow as well. Or the Mineral 89, I think, or Hylu B in La Roche-Posay, they're the best hyaluronic based serums in my opinion. And then it totally depends on how dehydrated your skin is. You can go then on top of that with a moisturizer. Some people use a moisturizer, some people don't. Some people feel like serum is enough for me. But always use an SPF during the day. So, and that SPF can be in a moisturizer or it can be a separate SPF on top. So something like the Skin Ingredients has an SPF in it, the Skin Shield. It also has an ingredient to stop the blue light from your phone or all these Zoom meetings we're having.
Oh
Right?
yeah.
Yeah. So, because that stops your aging and your pigmentation, you know. So you always use
Mm.
an SPF. And you might have it in a cream, so you might not need a separate one. Or if there's no SPF in your cream, then definitely make sure you're even using a spray or something with an SPF in it afterwards. Some foundations even have an SPF in it, you know. So those would be my top tips. And then at nighttime, something with retinol in it is fantastic, just to really remove any sort of dead skin cells and rejuvenate your skin as you sleep. So, you know, it just increases the cell turnover, gets rid of any dead skin cells, and produces new skin cells. So that's why retinol is a brilliant product. And again, there's retinol in so many different products. Pestle and Mortar one is really good. There's a new La Roche-Posay one, retinol B3, because it's got healing properties as well. Brilliant one. So there's loads of different ones, Owen.
Mm.
Good skin, like this is a brilliant time to actually have a good look at your skin, because now
Mm.
you're learning it up in makeup and on the go all the time, and actually doing something about your skin, you know, to actually get it right. And getting a skincare routine that suits you. And everybody's different. Everybody is completely different, because everybody cares about different things in their skin, whether it be fine lines or dark circles or a bit of pigmentation, or, you know, you look at your own skin and you see what I would say would be something different to what you would be seeing, because we all have our
Yes.
own
Yeah.
fascinated about different concerns that we have. So listen, again, if anybody's worried or has a particular question, just get in contact with us and we can recommend a few different options for you, you know, because the same ingredient could be in a number of different brands, and you know, all you're looking for is that ingredient. It doesn't matter what the brand is. So there can be very affordable brands that has the same ingredient in it, to be honest, you know,
Brilliant.
than some of the, you know, the higher end brands, you know. So
yeah. Amazing. Wow, I'm like, oh, I'm
you're
going to
welcome.
try my hyaluronic acid again. You've got me all zhuzhed up.
Yeah, well, you know, hyaluronic, why it's so good is because, well, first of all, it depletes. It's a natural ingredient that's always in our skin, but it depletes over age. And why everybody's fascinated with it is one molecule of hyaluronic acid attracts 10 molecules of water. So the more hyaluronic you can put onto your skin, the more water it retains. And that water being attracted to it plumps up your skin. And by plumping up your skin, it gets rid of any fine lines and wrinkles. So it kind of fills them in, you know.
Yeah.
And that's why that's why it's in like everything.
Everything.
And yeah, and even in internal supplements, you know, like the Revive Beauty Complex or other vitamin supplements that would be for your skin have hyaluronic in it, because and we would always say that in Mars, like always try and treat your skin from within, because you could be putting on all these creams and serums and they're only reaching so far. But if you actually take something internally, whether it be something like Revive Beauty or the Advanced Nutrition range, or even a really strong vitamin C like that Zuki one that we have, that treats from the inside out. It's nearly better that way because it'll reach the deeper layers, you know. So make sure that you're coupling it with a good supplement as well.
I just see somebody here saying, I watched last night's live and I have just purchased my second set of self-care bits.
Oh, brilliant.
Mineral 89 is amazing. This is my third time to buy it.
It is. It's a fantastic product. And
I've never heard of it before. I'm going to write this down.
Mineral 89, and they have now done it in a mask. The mask is amazing treat. It's only $8.50. Like, you know, use it once a week. Keep it in the fridge. It's lovely. And actually, so it comes in two. I wish I had one here. Do I have one now? I don't. So it has a hyaluronic acid and the mineral 89 on one side of it, and then in the other side is the actual dry mask. And then you kind of fold it over and squeeze the hyaluronic into the actual mask material. And that material is actually made up of it's an ingredient called cellulose, a particular type of cellulose, and that is actually used for burns on the skin, that particular type. You know, so if you were treating a burn in a hospital, that's the material they would use. And the reason for that is it pushes the hyaluronic really deep into your skin, so it really gets down to the very bottom layers. And it's a fantastic, you can see your skin straight away, so much plumper, fine lines completely gone, and a real glow to your skin.
Stop the lights. I know what I like. I have to go now. End this
treat.
live. Bye.
Mineral 89 in my basket. Yeah, look,
I have to get on to marspharmacy.ie. That's brilliant. Oh, sorry, it froze there a little bit. No, that's fantastic. Thanks a million. I think that's going to answer those skincare questions now.
And if anybody has, honestly, Oliver, if anybody has, any of your followers have a specific question, just send me a DM and I can recommend whatever product to suit them, because everybody's skin's different. Everybody's concerns are different. Yeah.
And like you, I know on your Mars Pharmacy, you're always doing lives though about different products and kind of things like that. So they can just hop over there and check it all out.
Yeah, we had Jeanette on from La Roche and Vichy last night doing a live on skincare, because there's so many questions, especially with people wearing that PPE now, you know, the masks and the goggles and everything. They're getting like almost marks on their skin. And for that, the Cicaplast Balm is like the miracle cure, because it has vitamin B5 in it, which is really healing. So, and it's really intensive. So, and everybody should have that if you're a mum and young kids in your press, because you can put it on burns, you can put it on nappy rash, you can put it on, it's like the miracle in a tube.
What's it called?
Cicaplast Balm, BAUME, the B5 in that. It is fantastic. Every mum should have that in the cupboard. Because like literally you can use it from 3 months up, and it will get rid of, honestly, you use it on burns, you can use it on nappy rash, you can use it now for these kind of almost, marks from the PPE. You
Yeah.
can use it, I use it as a mask even once a week, as a really intensive thick layer, go to bed with it on, and it's really healing on your skin. It's an absolutely brilliant product. People use it after chemical peels, after to heal scars. It's brilliant.
Wow.
Miracle. It's absolutely really intensive, fantastic product. Yeah.
Incredible. I'm taking notes. I'm taking notes for myself here. I'm like writing down, okay, no, I'm seriously jumping on straight after this, like, I need something to arrive on Tuesday. Look at these. I'm tired. No, that's so cool. And then thank you very much for the skincare stuff. I see now, folks, I told you she's the guru and all sorts here. And then I did, like, speaking of rashes, actually, earlier, I've never been sent photos of rashes before, but I got 2 pictures in today. I don't know if you had a chance to look at them.
Yeah, the first one, I would say, it kind of does look like ringworm, to be honest. So that lady that had the little dots or whatever. So all I'd ask you is get both those ladies to actually just send me directly the messages, so then I can do the recommendations. So definitely the first one looked like ringworm, and for that you could use an antifungal, something like the Caniston would should clear that. And then the second lady, I would like to find out just a few more bits about, when did that come up and what has she tried so far. So again, rashes you just need to be so careful with, and just need to make sure that, it's not coming from something else. And sure, we just talked about this whole link with this inflammatory reaction. You just need to be super careful. So if something comes up like that out of the blue and it looks, very unusual, you'd be actually accessing an emergency. But that first lady definitely looks like ringworm. Second lady, I'd like to have a chat to.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect.
So any rashes like that, we get pictures all the time. Come here, some of the pictures I get.
I was literally only thinking that when I started getting these in, I was like, oh God, I hate to be a pharmacist. Yeah, no thanks. You can publish a book. Be like Dr. Pimple Popper or something, the way she does it all anonymous.
Yeah. Oh, some classics. I'll tell you what. But sure, like, that's what we're here for. We love it.
I know, yeah. That's why you're a pharmacist and we're not. But now listen, well, they were our kind of main questions. So you have answered them incredibly comprehensively. You're also going to be damaging my wallet now. I'm literally anxious to get rid of you now, so I can get shopping online.
Well, listen, that
person said the mask is in my basket.
Well, there you go. No, listen, you won't regret it. It's festive, you couldn't be going wrong. It's a real treat, and listen, we bloody well deserve a treat these days. We're putting up with a lot. We're doing a lot, so. And, we pamper night is great. I try and do that every Sunday night myself. Just take a couple of hours out, and I stick a do not disturb sign on the bathroom door. And honest to God, it's the best thing. You need to make sure your own head's right before you can look after other people. It's that whole sort of thing, in the airplane. Put on your own oxygen mask first.
Literally going to say that's my favorite saying is put on your oxygen mask first.
Yeah, because you can't look after anybody else if you're not feeling, you can't, what is it? You can't pour from an empty cup, my mother always says,
Yeah.
So that's so true.
Somebody, I missed the name of the mask. Could you show it again, please?
Oh, yeah. It's Mineral 89 mask. Yeah, I'm sorry, I have used mine, so I can't show it to you.
I'd be like, this one?
Yeah, you know what I'll do? I'll send you a screen grab of it afterwards, or whenever you want to stick it on your stories or whatever.
Yeah, brilliant. Yeah, brilliant. Perfect. I reckon then we should have a Cogni Kids, what is it? Mineral 89 mask, photo kind of collage.
Right.
We'll all do it on the same night with a glass of wine.
Why not? Why not?
No problem, Ciara. Hop on to Mars now before they're all sold out.
Yeah, I know. They're flying. Yeah. Flying. And listen, if anybody is looking for, us to do up a care package for them or a loved one, or if you know, you want to say thank you to somebody, Alwyn, or anything like that, you know, we've set up a helpline. I'll send you that number as well. Just phone ourselves. It's a team of pharmacists behind that, and you know, they can look after if you have a question on prescription, if you have a question on kids or a rash or anything like that. Just get in contact with us. Like, we're only delighted to be able to help, and we can do up something, pamper box for you or your loved one or whatever, and get it sent to their door. So, you know, whatever it is that you need at this difficult time, we're here to help, you know. So we'd be delighted to be able to look after anybody that needs a bit of help, you know.
Amazing, as always.
Not at all, not at all.
The ethos trickles from top down, so it does. So
well,
that's why. Yeah, no. Listen, well, thanks a million, Oonagh.
No problem. Yeah.
I know some of those were a bit bizarre questions, possibly, but like, really appreciate you giving us your time and your font of knowledge, and you know, advice and things like that. So
yeah, not at all.
Thanks a million.
Thanks for having me on, Alwyn. And listen, you know, I'm here if anybody needs a hand at all, you know. So you know how to get in contact with us.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
And hopefully we'll have a glass of wine soon enough in real life.
Yeah. We'll have to do a proper face-to-face catch-up. All this Instagram live, and it's, you know.
I know. Yeah. Well, listen, good night.
Good night.
And take care. Thanks a million. Bye.